Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Kay Crystal Griffith here, and welcome back for Emotions, Wisdom, and Your Body, our daily digest through every day of 2021 on how your emotions are affecting your body, soul, and spirit, because your emotions are body wisdom. So here is your disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I do not play one on TV. I do have a master's in education. I have 2 trauma certifications, as well as inner healing accreditations. And so this really is for your edification, your education, and your encouragement. We all should be learning more, right? Every single day. So our word for today is actually kind of a phrase. It's present in the moment, to be mindful. So being present in the moment, or the here and now, really means that we are aware and we're mindful of what's happening at this very moment, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but right now. We are not distracted by ruminations of the past or worries about the future, but we are centered in the here and now. So when you are not being present, what happens? You really become a victim of time. Isn't that an interesting phrase? Your mind is pulled into the past or the future, or both. And the difference is between doing and being. If we stop focusing on doing the action of living present in the moment and trade it with actually being at the present moment, that way we feel suddenly the changes. And there's a pleasant feeling when we do that, when we are actually being present in the moment. And we feel joy and we feel peace that emerges from within. So oftentimes we tend to escape being present in the moment. Perhaps it's chaos. Perhaps it's exhaustion. Perhaps it's you are just avoiding doing something else. But oftentimes what we're seeing, and it was really kind of interesting, I caught a couple of commercials recently. No, they weren't for the big game, but it was talking about families, and they all were families and they were parents with their kids, but they were all on their phones. And like that was actually the whole point of the commercial. Not that they weren't being present, that they were supposed to be on their phone doing something while they were holding their newborn child. Like, guys, I mean, I see this out and about as well, even at the malls, even now with COVID, where we really can be more present in the moment, right? By nature of the beast. And people are busy here and they're ignoring their kid at the table. And then what are we teaching our kids at that moment? Are we teaching them to be present in the moment? Are we teaching them, here's your tablet, have your babysitter? Now, don't get me wrong, folks. I know there's a time and a place, and I know we all need to like zone out for a few. I totally get it. I really do. And especially being full-time parents, full-time working, everybody's at home, full-time school, who doesn't need an escape? But I think it's super important that we begin to be selective about what that escape is. Why couldn't it be family game time? Or why couldn't it be puzzle time? Or going on a walk? We did that today. I had to go take the car, and we came home, and I called her and said, hey, put shoes on. We're walking out the door. As soon as I get there, we're going to go take a walk. And she's like, oh, Mom. And as soon as we got out there, it was beautiful. It was 50 degrees. We have like -25 coming in like 48 hours. And so we just enjoyed walking around the neighborhood for a few minutes. We got to chat. You know, a lot of things happen when we put those phones down, when we put the technology down, when we even disconnect ourselves from the TV and any binge watching that we're doing on a tablet, because then you can actually think. You know, that's another great way to be present in the moment with your relationship with the Lord as well. And I didn't mean to get on a soapbox here, but I just think it's super important for us to really be aware of what we're doing, when we're doing, how we're doing it. Because if we do want change in our life, and if you are not happy with where your life has been going recently, this is your opportunity to make changes, to really see the differences and hear from him some different directions that he might be trying to describe and kind of nudge you to go to, but you're so busy escaping that you're not hearing him. And so I would encourage you, have a tech-free zone once a week, like from, let's just say Friday night. Friday night from 5 to bedtime, there's no tech anywhere, right? And on anyone. We all turn them off. And if you have to let your bosses know that's family time, then let them know that's family time. You know, we do have to begin to put in better boundaries, especially with the direction that work is going in the future, because 9 to 5s, they don't exist anymore, folks. And if you think they do, you're crazy. They don't. I just read another article recently that they're not bringing people back except maybe 2 days a week. And the rest of it's going to be from home. It's going to be remote, which is helpful for us running lives and trying to start businesses or things like that. But the fact is there's no break either from your normal home life to your work life. And I think somewhere in there that really was a type of escape for a lot of people. And now it doesn't look that way. So how do we really implement solid, healthy boundaries and how to move forward that this is family time, this is work time, here's our school time mixed in, and how do we manage all those in a good balance? Maybe that should be a good word for us later this week is balance. We'll come back to that one. So really, we're talking about being present in that moment, that mindfulness, and that is a positive thing. When you are present, man, people can tell. And they can tell when you're zoning too, can't they? Oh, where were you? Penny for your thoughts, right? Psychology Today shares that those who live in the moment tend to be happier, calmer, more relaxed, more appreciative. Mindfulness can also increase your ability to be able to tune in with your thoughts, your emotions, your body sensations even. This is a huge, huge thing, especially for people who have functional neurological disorder in which your brain has triggered something that has really cut off some kind of functionality to your body and it's sensation or motor. And so super important that we always be in tune with those emotions because you've heard me say before, feelings buried alive, they never die. They are going to find a way out. And that could be, for some people, a trigger in the brain where you could have non-epileptic seizures, where you could actually not feel different parts of your body, or even giving yourself headaches. It's the craziest thing ever. But when we don't deal with those emotions that are sitting in there, folks, your body is going to respond in some form or fashion. And so the more that we can process those emotions out, man, the better off you're going to feel in your health. Now, that's not to dismiss any ailments or issues that you actually have going on. There are real issues. Functional neurological disorder is a real issue, folks. Real issue. I see it every single day. It blows my mind what our brains can do to ourselves. And so the more that we can help that process, though, if we can process what's going on around anxiety and fear and stress and things like that, then we can put on our best selves for our body to be able to help itself to its best of its ability. I hope that makes sense. Now, if we're talking about mindfulness, not only increasing you being in tune with those things, but it also allows you to work with human factors and communicate how you're thinking and feeling to both yourself, which is important, and others, because you can't describe to others what you're feeling if you haven't really processed that for yourself yet. Depression tends to live in the past. Anxiety tends to live in the future. And alternately, calmness and peace, those live in the present. So depression in the past, anxiety in the future, calm and peace right now, right? Researchers indicate proven to help alleviate stress, anxiety, depression, chronic pain is a combination of meditation techniques with some cognitive behavioral skills, and then making mindful improvement. And it's taught in a way that's practical and relevant for everyday living. What does that mean? These become part of your daily tools, just like brushing your teeth, picking out your clothes, making sure you got some kind of breakfast in you, right? To start our day, to break the fast of sleeping, right? Now, some of you, I know you're on the intermittent fasting thing, and hey, I get it. My breakfast tends to start really kind of at 11 because by the time I go to bed, my dinner's like at 9. So I get it. All right. Now, mindfulness positively impacts human functioning. And so when we are mindful of what we're doing, then we are positively impacting our body and our health. So mindfulness can also improve the quality of your attention. The more that you're aware of what's going on present in your moment, you have a better quality of attention. So you can actually begin to retrain your mind. And so for people who have ADHD, ADD, there's a ton of resources that are available to you from a holistic standpoint, one of which is being present in the moment. And that's super hard to do because it's like squirrel, bing, squirrel, bing, squirrel, bing. My daughter showed me some video tonight of this young lady that I'm like, oh my goodness, she's making my ADHD go crazy because she was just all over the place. So we need to be present in the moment. Mindfulness, even though it is an internal quality, can also impact interpersonal behavior. And that's your personal behavior with other people. Mindfulness can also help greater empathy and compassion. And that includes compassion for ourselves. Oftentimes we think that we have to be doing something better, bigger, more depth. What does that look like? Why can't my relationship look like their relationship? And, the fact is we just need to offer ourselves some grace sometimes. And are you doing the best that you can in the moment, present in the moment? And if you are, kudos, high five. I'm proud of you because that's where you need to be. That's it. No one's asking you to do anything more than the best that you can do in that moment. And it's really not up to anyone else to judge what you're doing in your moccasins, so to speak, right? So what about kind of maybe too much? Could that be too much? Let's check that. So if we are really focusing and we're making sure that we don't let the future steal your present, then we're really choosing to have a better quality of attention. And we're choosing to have impact in ourselves and on those around us. And we're choosing greater empathy and compassion. So can you have too much? I don't think so. Now, what if you're having trouble being present in the moment? Let's just talk about a couple of those things. One, turn down the world's music. No, I'm not just talking about this kind of music. I'm talking about your phones, your tablets, your TV. Honestly, having so many connections that you feel pulled by a number of different people. Sometimes we just need to do what's called starving your schedule. A great book called To Hell with the Hustle in Christian Base. And it really talks about as we starve our schedule, we allow opportunities for God to move. But if we are so busy all the time, how's he going to fit anything into your schedule? How's he going to say, hey, why don't you go have a Zoom cup of tea with somebody? Or I want you to go walk the mall with somebody. Or I want you to just take a longer lunch today. And because I'm going to bring somebody across your path while you're sitting on that bench. And it can make all the difference in the world. But if we're so on the go and we're missing being present in the moment because of our schedule, we're missing those opportunities that God wants to bring into your lives. Let's see. Another one is just eat. I got to tell you, we're guilty. My kiddo got us into these 80 craves of we're going through like all the 80 shows, Growing Pains and Full House and Doc Quinn and all of those, right? Which have been really fun to go back through and have great conversation around, especially that Seventh Heaven show. Holy moly, I totally forgot half that stuff was in there. Ooh, that is not for the young at heart here. And so as we go through, we eat our dinner and we watch a show and then we kind of converse about it. We have a conversation, which has been good for the conversation piece. But I find that has now become the habit instead of this beautiful kitchen table that we have. And we should go over there and have like just conversation the whole time, right? So be present in the moment just to eat, right? Instead of having something else going on. We are such multitaskers in our world nowadays, even flipping through our phone, checking our email while we're eating our sandwich, right? So learn how to monotask. Yep, I didn't say multitask. I said monotask. So especially on Zooms. Notorious for this, right? You have 14 different tabs open and you have your picture on static so they can't really see what you're doing, but you're listening to the Zoom and then you're over here doing other things. What if you just were present in the Zoom? What would that look like? Or what if you were just present putting your kiddo to bed? Or what if you were just present listening to their stories that they wanted to share? What would that look like? Conduct mental check-ins. This is such a great list. And so a mental check-in, what does that look like? It's really just you kind of going, how am I feeling right now? Am I present in the moment? Do I want to be present in the moment? That's always a good question. Another one is create a step back alarm. Now, that's really taking a step back from what's going on and just breathing so you can remember to be present in the moment. Sometimes for people with a lot of anxiety, to go and interact with some people becomes a big interaction, and maybe they're introverts and they just need to take a step back to recharge for a few minutes so they can go back in. And it's not that they don't want to be with people. That's actually not the definition of introvert. And you should totally double check my cast, my digest on introvert a couple of weeks ago. And so when you go in as an introvert, you just need to recharge. That's what your dopamine center is a quiet to recharge itself. Whereas an extrovert is going in and they feed off of that socialization, and that becomes a reward from the dopamine center. So the other one is say hello. Everywhere you go, it's super hard to interact with people because now we can't see anything, right? So really saying hello and meaning it, even behind the mask. And I'm telling you, man, it is amazing what happened. People are taken aback when you say hello and have a great day. So nice to see you again. And they don't know what to do with that. And so you are just shifting their mental dynamic, and you're really bringing attention to those in the same space as you. And that's what you need to be doing, being aware of those, maybe grocery shopping at the same time. Now, practicing meditation. I'm a firm believer about using scripture as meditation being that one thought process that we're having in that moment of what we're going to focus on. And so I believe to do that with scripture. And I just think that's so peaceful and really giving you an opportunity to meditate just on one thing in front of you, which is one verse or a passage of verses. I tend to stick with just a few at one time, and just really diving in and going, Lord, what do you want to tell me about this verse? And how does it apply to me? And where was I in the past of this verse? Where am I now in the present? And where are you going to take me in the future for this verse? Now, I get that meditation piece is including past, present, and future, but really it's understanding what changes in acknowledgement of where you were to where you are and where you're going. And that is just such a cool piece of intimacy with the Lord, for him to just reveal vision to you about what he has in mind for your life and where it could go if you decide to partner with him, which is just a neat opportunity. So the other thing is silence those notifications. I left my phone on the other night. I will never do that again. And holy moly, my phone at 6:05 in the morning was steady going, bah, bah, bah. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And it was emails coming in, and it was people texting me, and it was doctors trying to get a hold of me actually for the day already. I'm like, at 6:05 in the morning, this is not what I do at 6:05 in the morning. And so, silence the notifications when you're having that family dinner that we talked about on Friday night or Taco Tuesday or whatever that looks like, right? Turn off the phones, put them in cell phone jail, and nobody gets to go get the phone. Now, oftentimes before COVID, we would have that little game of everybody puts the phones in the middle of the table, and the first person that grabs the phone gets to pay the bill for the table. Same concept, right? All right. So the last one I wanted to share with you is keeping a diary. Now, I know some of you are journalers and others of you aren't. But this is really nothing more than just a line or two, really even on your daily calendar, if you wanted it to be, about recalling some moments, observations that you might have missed from the day because maybe you were in a hurry. And that just kind of slows you down as well. So what are our wisdom verses? So wherever you are, commit to being there. That's not in the Bible. That's a colloquialism. Yeah, I can't talk anymore tonight. Wherever you are, commit to being there, and not just being there, but completely being there in body, soul, and spirit. Isaiah 43:18-19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing, and now it springs up to you. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. And so when we are busy again in the past, super depressive, right? The future is anxiety filled unless we know who holds the future. I won't give you that caveat, right? If we know who holds your future, there is no anxiety. I cannot wait to see what the rest of 2021 brings. It has been wowzers for the first 6 weeks, let me tell you. All good. But I know who's got this in there. John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, the peace I give to you, not as the world gives you, because the world wants you depressed or anxious, right? Peace. Peace is within you because you have Jesus, right? And remember, you heard me say, the peace within you is there and it overwhelms the chaos out here, right? So let not your hearts be troubled and neither let them be afraid. And then our last one is Colossians 4:2. Pray diligently, stay alert with your eyes wide open in gratitude. Yes, it's like wide open gratitude. You're looking for the things that you want to be thankful for. And that requires you being present in the moment. So how do you use this new information about being present in the moment and mindfulness? Remember, wisdom is not only hearing, but also understanding and applying it. So your 3 questions. How has being present in the moment been showing up in your life? Have you been present? Why? Why not? And how can you transform really being present in the moment, this mindfulness concept, by wisdom, understanding, and knowledge as you walk in it moving forward? So take the scriptures, add your names. So for example, Colossians 4:2, Janice, how about that name? Janice, pray diligently, stay alert with your eyes open wide in gratitude. Add your name because they were personalized. God wants you to bring in his word to your heart and really begin to understand it. So go live, share with us how you've been practicing staying present in the moment, especially during quarantine. Tomorrow's word is, I had it, now I don't. Distant, there it is. See, I forgot to change it on my little cheat sheet that I have in front of me. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to write it on there. It is distant because that's the opposite of being present in the moment and being mindful. You are distant in your emotions. So join us again tomorrow for more emotions, wisdom in your body. Register at kcrystalgriffith.com to receive more insights and your feelings wheel. And until then, guys, you guys have a blessed day. Take care.